This is a tutorial on how to get set up as a teacher on My Marking Machine. Go to the front page, which is mymarkingmachine.com, and click Get Started. Type in your name, whatever username that you want to have, class code. This is something that your pupils will put in order to join your class. If you're going to join a class, you can put a code in there. For example, I'm going to put in class code 368.0. That's a demo class. It will give you a demo worksheet, but you don't need to put one in. Then you put in your email here. So I'm going to put in test@test.com. Already exists. Okay. There we go. Then we put in a password. And you're going to select teacher account. Obviously your pupils won't. Click create account. If you're on Google or another smart browser, then it'll ask you to save your password. I recommend doing that so you can log in easily next time. It'll then prompt you to go to the exercises page in the navigation. So we'll have to go up here to do that, or take a tour of the video. So this video will be shown just below. So I'm going to go straight to exercises. Got it. So you can see, because we joined the demo class, we already have the demo worksheet assigned to us. When your pupils register and they put in your class code, they'll immediately see here whatever assignment you have set to them. To view the possible assignments, you can click on one of these drop downs and find I don't know, the worksheet that you want to assign. You can then assign it to your class. We forgot to make a class, so let's go back and make a class. In fact, let's do that after we have after we've had a look. So I'm going to click on Wave Properties. This is what a worksheet looks like. You can have a go at doing these questions, seeing what feedback you get back. You can also see here that there's a report button. So if there's ever a problem with a question, like it's marked something incorrectly or the feedback's not clear or anything is a problem, you can submit that through the report button here. The reset button just resets this question. And then once they've completed the worksheet, the last page is the summary page. It reminds them which questions they've got incomplete still. It shows them which questions they've completed without help and the ones which they've completed with help. If there are some that they've completed with help, it'll present them here and give them an opportunity to try and get them done without help until all of the questions are in a list here. For revision purposes, it's quite useful for them to click reset. Otherwise, we can go back to home and look at our worksheets. So if we want to assign it to a class, once we have classes, we can use these assign buttons here. But we need to make a class first. So we'll go to classes, create class, test class, submit, and then that class has appeared straight away. We can see no assignments are set. So let's say we wanted to set that waves one. We could have done it the way that I showed you before, or we can also do it here. So I think it was this one. We'll click on that one. We can select multiple assignments at once if we like. Just close that, and you can see Wave Properties has now appeared. Your class size is 0 because no pupils have joined. Here is where you see the class code. If you just click on that, it gets copied to your clipboard, or you can drag and copy if you like. Flicking this means that the worksheet will be hidden from pupils, but you can still see the markbook. You have multiple markbooks. You have the overall class summary. This will show all the pupils in the class. Currently it's just you, and what percentage completion they've achieved with each worksheet. You can then look at the markbook for the particular worksheet either by clicking here where it says Wave Properties GCSE, or you can click on this and that will open up the markbook for that worksheet. So we can see you would have the list of pupils here. I'm going to go into a bit more detail what facilities are available on this page, but with some actual data. But before I do that, I'll show you some key stuff. So you can see here the pupil's username, which will allow you to give them the information they need to log in. You can reset their password, and that will give you a really simple password they can then use to log in. If they've got their password wrong too many times, their account is locked, and you can unlock it here. You can also remove them from your class. There is a button here to anonymize that then hides all of that information and that name, which is useful for presenting things on the board. We're now going to go over to data from my classes. So this is what the markbook looks like when you are you've got some more pupils. So you can see I've got some pupils in these classes, and I can do things like look at the class summary, and this is really useful for seeing how complete the work is for all the pupils. So this class has just got a few worksheets, and I can see that they've got 100% or nearly 100% on most of the worksheets. Then if I look at another class, I can see with many more worksheets, there are a few spots here where the score's not so great, so I can easily tell those pupils that they need to fill in those gaps. What I wanted to show you was what happens when we actually click into these worksheets to see what people have put, and there is some real data. So within this worksheet you can see the overall completion, and then the ticks show you that they got the answer right eventually. The crosses show you that they haven't got it correct, and then by the approximate heat map you can see this top row has kind of struggled a bit with some of them, and we can see that question 15 was quite hard. So we can look into those to see what was question 15 and what were the mistakes that pupils were making. Yeah, I think if you want to view the question, you can see the question here, and then if you want to see what feedback they got, so why was this not marked with full marks, we can click on it and it says check the magnitude of the numbers, which is just not a correct piece of feedback. It's because they've put times 10 to the minus 3 meters per second when that's incorrect. So see, that's an example where the tool's a bit better at spotting details than a human is sometimes. You can easily flick between the questions, and you can flick between worksheets. Yeah, so these are the different worksheets. You can see they mostly get 100% on everything. And you can also click on an individual pupil and view that worksheet for that pupil, but I'm not doing that in anonymized mode. You can get more information than the completion by clicking on Advanced, and this will show you not only the overall completion, but what score they got the first time they answered all the questions. So this has got a better relation to how the pupil is generally understanding the material. And then this summary section here, that tells you the extent to which they've been able to do the questions without help, not necessarily on the first time. So here we can see their initial score is 76. So the first attempt they got 76%, and then they have eventually they got them all correct, just as all of them eventually got them all correct. But these three people have then re-attempted the questions without help, so they've been able to get them correct all without help again, which is great. That's all for this tutorial. If there's anything else that you want to know, then do get in touch. Oh, actually, I'll say one more thing. When you are assigning work to your class, to save you some time, you can just copy this text down here and then replace the key information. If you forget how to do anything, then there's information down here as well as that video. That's all from me. Have fun.